Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I have been doing the Dr Joe Dispenza progressive online course now for 10 months, and I just wanted to share some of the insights from this course. So just let me start by saying, for all this information I'm going to give you, it would probably be handy to grab yourself a pen and a pad. Make sure you have an alarm that can wake you up early in the morning, or wake you up certainly earlier than normal, and a comfortable area that you can make your area to do your meditations and get yourself into the right mindset for the rest of the day. I have a chair in the corner of my bedroom. I've made it really comfortable, added some cushions. I sometimes do sit on the floor because I have a special meditation cushion. Add anything you want to make it more relaxing and more engaging. You must make sure you've turned off any phones, tablets, computers, anything that will disturb you. Please turn it off. And this will actually not cost you anything but a pen, a pad or some paper, and it will just require you to get up earlier than normal. So it's all about not waiting for something to happen. For me, it's all about changing the way I feel about things and myself. And when my internal world changes, my external world will match. So change your brain, your body, your life. As I said, I've been doing this now for 10 months. I've redone the course. So listened to it, took it in, made notes, made my own interpretations of it. I've done it 3 times now, and I'll probably do it some more, because each time I listen, I pick something else out. And yes, it has changed my brain, changed my body, and most definitely changed my life. So all you need to do to start with is just take a few minutes every morning and every evening to program your brain for success instead of letting the world program it for you. Most people wake up, check their phones, think about their problems, and instantly put their brains into a stress response before their feet have even hit the floor. They've programmed their day for stress before it's even begun. But after doing this for 10 months, I truly believe there is another way. So what I've been doing is I've allowed myself enough time in the morning and in the evenings, especially in the morning though, when my brain is at its most receptive, to set a completely different program for my day as a mindset. So having done the online Joe Dispenza course, every morning before my analytical mind kicks in, before my subconscious started to wake me up, I mentally rehearse a new intention. And I do this every morning, and it's usually something different. When you change your thoughts, you change your life. Now, I learnt all about neuroplasticity when I woke up a couple of years ago with full-blown tinnitus and a little bit of vertigo thrown in. I managed to get medical clearance. I knew there was nothing wrong with my brain. So at that point, I knew I could delve deeper into Neuroplasticity City. And this is where my journey began. When I had retrained my brain not to hear the tinnitus, I then realised that my brain was incredibly powerful and I could do more. So before I got the tinnitus, I was waking up, reacting to my life, going to sleep, repeating my past, was literally creating my future. Because I was thinking the same thoughts, performing the same actions and creating the same emotions every day. Day in, day out. So I made some changes. I had to make changes. I changed my internal world, and my external world had no choice but to follow. So at that point is when it changed for me. I wanted to change my life, but I was waiting for something outside myself to change first. I used to think, oh, when I'm debt free, I can do all the things that I want to do. When I have no pain, when all that's gone, I can do all the things I want to do. When I fixed myself, I will feel a lot happier. But this is completely backwards. I realise that now. Your external world is a reflection of your internal state. My brain does not know the difference between what's happening in my outer world and what's happening in my inner world. My thoughts are producing the same chemicals in my brain, whether I'm experiencing something or just thinking about experiencing it. This was a crucial part of the understanding of neuroplasticity. These were all old thought patterns, which have now changed. Don't get me wrong, I do go back to default occasionally, but I'm aware of it. and I can bring myself back to how I really want to be feeling and thinking. So this is the point I started researching and doing the Joe Dispenza practices. So I asked myself, what do I have to lose? I committed to it completely. No excuses, no days off. Okay, if I did miss a day, because perhaps I got up too late, my alarm didn't go off, I didn't feel right, I missed doing the practice. My body actually gets up automatically now, anything from 5 o'clock to 5:30, to give myself plenty of time. So when I woke in the morning, my brain is at theta brainwave state. I'm a bit drowsy and much more suggestible at this point. So this is the best place and time to reprogram my brain, instead of more of the same thing day in, day out. So I started on a dedicated intention. For me, I wanted abundance and good health. Included in that came gratitude, wholeness, and an openness to opportunity. So I mentally rehearsed the person I wanted to be, the feelings I wanted to feel, as if I'd already got what I wanted. I was programming a new neurological network, which is Neuroplasticity City. A small amount of science now, made simple. So your brain is made up of neurons, nerve cells that communicate with each other through connections called synapses. When you think a thought, neurons will fire together in a specific sequence. When you think that same thought again and again, those same neurons fight together again, strengthen their connection. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So many of us have pre-programmed our brains with years of living in stress, worry, habitual patterns. These neural networks are like superhighways of thoughts that automatically take them down the same mental road every day. That's why change feels so hard. You will literally be fighting against a physical structure of the brain. The glue that holds those thoughts together needs to be loosened. New ones need to be then glued in their place. But there is good news. Neuroplasticity means your brain can change, and you can do it. I've done it. You can form new connections. It can rewire itself. And there's the crucial part. The most effective time to do this rewiring is first thing in the morning. Of course, you can do other meditations throughout the day and in the evening, but the morning one is the critical one. It definitely was for me. Don't get me wrong, practice makes perfect. Practice definitely makes change. It has taken me at least the 10 months to master how to do this. And even now on occasions, my brain, as I said before, goes back to default, but I am aware of the thought patterns and I bring it back. At first, my body and my brain were literally telling me that it's impossible to change. They didn't want me to change. I have pre-programmed them for so many years. So after practice, I weakened the neural connections of my old self and strengthened the new connections of my new self. I did this enough times and my new pathways became my brain default. This is when change becomes effortless. This is when I became somebody new. So when you repeatedly think about and focus on something, the brain assumes it is important to you, and then it will look for the evidence of whatever you focused on, so you can focus on your problems. Your brain will find more and more of those problems. For example, when I first had tinnitus, all I heard was the noise. It was so loud, and I focused on it. I tried to get rid of it. I hated it. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't function. And of course I was putting more and more attention on it, so it was making it louder and louder and louder. And now when I get a very 2-minute interlude of a little bit of buzzing, I just say, "Hi, old friend, nice to see you again," and I just get on with whatever I'm getting on with, and it just disappears. Because it's not important anymore. Really isn't. My brain thought it was important because I was focusing on it, and that's when it made it even louder. So this is how your reticular activity system works. Your brain has filtering systems that determine what information from your environment reaches your conscious awareness. There are millions of bits of sensory information coming at you every second, but you are only aware of a tiny fraction of them. What determines which information gets through? Whatever you've trained your brain to value and notice. That's why intention matters so much. So what you put your attention on grows, and what you take your attention away from withers, going back to loosening that glue. So by focusing on possibilities that you would rather feel, you will find more of those possibilities. And this is pure science. And it's working for me, but it has taken a lot of dedication and time, but worth every single minute. And I've enjoyed the journey. There is a lot more science, but this is enough to know at the moment. This was enough to me to know at the beginning stages of my changing. I like things to be clear and simple, understandable, and this is what I want to try and pass on so you can help yourself. The ritual in the morning. Find somewhere you won't be disturbed. Put your phone on silent. Put everything on silent. Turn it off. Find somewhere comfortable to sit. Spine nice and straight, but comfortable. This posture sends a signal to your brain that it is important to you. You're not just lounging or sleeping. I have found that if I do this laying down, which I can now, I don't fall asleep. But at the beginning, I would have fallen asleep. If you do need to lay down, I suggest you put a bolster underneath your knees to make it feel different from your regular sleeping position. So you close your eyes. You can wear an eye protection, so it makes it darker, and I'd like you to just take some deep breaths. I personally like breathing in and imagining the energy in my heart, so it's like I'm breathing into my heart. Then I hold my breath in the heart area and then I let it go, and do that quite a few times and feel the space around your heart and in your heart. Genuinely feel gratitude for your heart. Gratitude is one of the most highest emotional states you can be in. Open your heart, synchronize your brain and your heart, get them working together. So you would have already organised what you want to visualise, to create. You can do this the night before. I personally started with one thing at a time. As I'm more practiced at it now, I can do more than one. Add detail, make it vivid. Your brain will not know the difference between what is real and what is not real. Imagine the emotions that are connected to it and just surrender this whole version to, let's call it, your higher self, quantum field, universe, God, whatever works for you and that is right for you. Just release it and trust that when you change your energy, you will change your life. This may sound very easy, but you will get resistance from your old self, your old pre-programmed self. As your body doesn't like change, it will fight to survive the change. You might feel that you think thoughts of being bored, restless, a bit sceptical. They're all resistance. It's all resistance being given to you because your body does not want to change. You might even fall asleep, or you might find your mind wandering to your to-do list. Again, that's all resistance, all normal and all to be expected. It's just your brain trying to keep you the same, because to your brain that's the safe place. Even if your current patterns are making you miserable, they're familiar to you. Our brains are not designed for happiness. It is designed to survive and help us survive. So to us, our brains, familiar equals safe. So how do we get over this resistance? For me, it was awareness of it and persistence. I noticed the resistance without any judgment, and I gently brought my focus back to the practice that I was doing and my intention. I did this enough times and my resistance started to weaken, while my intention strengthened. I started off with about 5 to 10 minutes per day. I now meditate and set intentions for at least an hour in the morning. If I feel like it, I might do another one during the day and perhaps a 30-45 minute one in the evening. I am an incredibly early bird anyway, so setting an alarm wasn't really a problem for me. It really depends how much you want to change. Do you want this badly enough? You can't just do it for a few days and expect something to happen. It just doesn't work like that. How you are now has been created over thousands of days, so you need to give it consistency. Consistency is key. Crucial, one of the main things to the practice. You have to do it so that it feels like who you are and not just something you do. For example, I'm sure if I can remember that far back, it took me quite a long time to ride a bike. Didn't just happen overnight. I learnt to play instruments. They took me quite a long time. Languages, these things don't happen automatically, so it's all about practice. So don't forget, each time your mind wanders or you get distracted, that's all normal. But each time you notice that, bring it back to your intention. And that means you're doing the job really, really well, because you've noticed it and you've brought it back and you are now building those new neural circuits. So after a while, I started to notice it got a lot easier. I could focus a lot longer. I could feel my brain physically changing. So when I was in a certain situation that might have taken me to feel quite stressful, I now feel quite calm. If I do get stressful, the calmness comes back very, very quickly, much quicker than it used to. Being under stress, the body can handle it staying in stress. That doesn't do us any good. So instead of reacting automatically to triggers, you will find there is space between the stimulus and the response where you can now choose a different reaction. And this is where I've got to. This alone was transforming for me. My energy has increased, and I realised how much energy I spent on actually stressing and worrying and ruminating. Sleep improves. Solutions to problems will appear easier. Health will improve. It internally lowers inflammation, improving our immune function, just to name a few benefits. Practice gratitude and positive expectations. Your brain starts filtering for the good in your life, and then you will notice opportunities that you couldn't see before, that you were blind to perhaps. Solutions where before you only saw problems. Energy is contagious. When you change your emotional state, people around you feel it. So when people come to see me at work, they say that they're coming not always for the treatment, but just to come and get a little piece of Jan in their lives as I make them smile, which always makes me feel lovely inside. To make changes to other people, it's a really nice feeling. So with your pen and paper, set your intention for the morning ritual. I've also found writing things down is a really good practice as well. So journaling to reinforce your new patterns you're creating is really good. Write things down at the end of the day that you've noticed. When did you catch yourself going back to old thought patterns and bringing them back to your intention for the day? Did something trigger you and you noticed you dealt with it slightly differently? Did you go for a nice walk and notice things around you that you hadn't really noticed before? So let me wind this up now. I'm going to give you some intention ideas. You will have your own ideas, of course. For me, better health, healthy relationship to finance. Keep the intentions real on a positive note. So instead of, for example, I want to be out of debt, and healthier to say, I would like a healthy relationship with my finances. I trust my healing body. I've now started with wanting some mystical experiences, feeling whole, heaps of gratitude. So please be mindful of what you read and watch, even particular television programs or series. I know the ones that will make me ruminate over certain things that would perhaps have been triggers for me. I personally haven't watched the news since the COVID days. If anything is really important to me, I know either my clients or my family will let me know. This is really seriously me not being ignorant. This is actually me looking after myself and choosing to fill my brain with stuff that I would want to listen to. So is the online progressive course worth it? 100% yes. With the course comes 6 meditations. My favourites. I'm just going to give you a couple of my favourites, 3 of my favourites. The generous present moment, tuning in to new potentials, and blessings of the energy centres. They're my 3 favourites from the course. I mean, I love them all, but they're the ones I really like to go back to. Now, Dr Joe has just launched a new course, which I haven't got, and it's Believing, Behaving, Becoming Abundance online course. Sounds amazing, and I can't wait to partake in that one. So I have also purchased quite a few of his meditations. Life, Love and the Mystical and Out Picturing are 2 of his latest ones. I do love the Out Picturing one. The walking meditations are always lovely to do. Just make sure you're safe. Love Your Body, really like that one. Love the Life You Love, Space Time, Time Space, and Blessings from the Heart. I really like those. Now, I don't do just Dr. Joe's work. I honestly believe that one size does not fit all, and I have done so many courses over the last few years. So I actually combine them with other things, and I'm just going to briefly tell you some of the other things that I've done. I combine them with the Wim Hof breathing and cold exposure. I did his course about 3 years ago. Conscious breathing, a bit like the dolphins do. I have studied the microbiome with a company called the Goodness Lover course. That was mind-blowing, eye-opening. It was really good. So I am an absolute whiz on my microbiome. Exercise. I like walking. I'm not a huge swimmer, so walking is my thing. I do Pilates, I do a bit of yoga, I do a tiny bit of weight training. I do all this at home, and I find it fits into my routine quite well. The secret for me me is just keep moving. I have studied sleep and I've experimented with all different types of things. I've done an EFT, a tapping course. I do loads of journaling, and I have recently just experienced forest bathing, which was lovely because you get to turn your phone off, which is fantastic. I've done painting, singing. Obviously I do an awful lot of reading, which I will do another chat on, very short one. I'm actually reading at the moment. I'm actually another huge fan of Dr Tara Swart, an amazing lady, and she has written 2 books. The latest one is The Signs, fascinating. And I'm also reading a book by Dr Robert Lustig, Metabolical. Really interesting. I'm always interested in food. So a big shout out to Joey Remini from Seeking Balance. She's actually based in Australia. I did her online course, and this was the lady who put me on the road for the neuroplasticity healing. She's absolutely amazing. So she concentrates on healing vertigo and tinnitus with neuroplasticity. I will leave all the links at the bottom with all the things I've mentioned. As I say, I am going to make a meditation for you for a morning meditation, and I will try and do an evening one as well for you. I have 35 years of meditating practice, sleep consulting, tapping practitioner, reflexology, Indian head massage, Ayurvedic practices, manifestation coach. I absolutely love all this stuff, but I think you have to take something from all of it and make your own fit. Make it work for you. But the main ones I do are the meditation in the morning. I set myself up for the day. My food is spot on. I know exactly what my microbiome and my stomach needs and my body needs. Sleep, vitally important. Drink plenty of liquid and reduce as much stress as possible. Conscious breathing if you're ever stressed. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this, and lots of love.